Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. I am Alex Antuna, and today I'll continue this model in, Marmoset Toolbag, and going back and forth between ZBrush and Toolbag. I'll show some of the progress I have. One of them was naming. I was trying to get some names for these objects, and there's something to keep a little more organized. This is where it starts to make sense to start naming stuff, because going back and forth is gonna trying to find something. It says just ZMesh 1 or something doesn't help, but this is the model I have so far. I've been bringing in stuff back and forth. A lot of times I never really thought about it. I do models and stuff like that, and I optimize and I do high to low bakes, but I never really considered like high detailed parts that were gonna have a lot of something like this. You can see that mesh, and if I go back to this model, you'll see that I decimated it, or I dropped it down going, what did I press? Press render. I probably decimated it and exported it out. I have probably another file, but I don't know if I did in this one, so you can see how it looks low. So this is the way it looks, and if I go to Toolbag and go turn on wireframe, you're gonna see a kind of the dense decimation. But at the same time, I also added a UV map to this, so that kind of helps. A lot of this stuff was decimated. I've just been bringing stuff over little by little. You start to see I got this. I need to redo this piece. It didn't really come out as I wanted to before, and I got to do some other wires, but you can start to see that just did some quick texture in there. But I really want to sit down and start texturing as far as painting and getting a little more detail on top of the modeling. And that's really what I hope to get to. Some of these details like this. If I go to here, and you can see under this, I have it subdivision applied. So I'm trying to go back and forth with that, just whether or not. I think the other curiosity I have, I've done models in Toolbag, but I've never done like as complex model as this inside of here. Usually I use this for baking, but this is the test. See where it ends up at. I have the lights also down here, some other lights, and these are all kind of scattered about. So there's that. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let's see. Detach. Bring this down here. So back here in ZBrush, I've been bringing back and forth, and depends on how the mesh is, what I plan to do with it, where I plan to go with it, and keeping that flow going. So let's get the next part. This is something that I didn't really plan on cleaning up. I was kind of like at the end of the road, and it's kind of far away. Really just wanted to put a shiny metal material, so it's not really that big of a deal. Let's go to this. Let's go and show some of the process. So what I was gonna do is let's reset everything here. Go to UV master and make a clone. Work on clone. So I'm just gonna let ZBrush do its thing. I don't really want to make this too hard of a process, because going back and forth doing this many pieces, it'll wear on you. You don't want to do this all day. It's kind of like the not so fun part, but it's got to get done if you want it to translate over. So I'll flatten it. That's what it looks like. ZBrush does okay, but sometimes they'll do these weird deformed or not relaxed areas, and we'll see what it does. If it doesn't work out, I'll bring it into Blender and I'll clean it up from there. But right now, all I really want to do is go from here into, you know, Toolbag and just get everything set up. And if I need to modify anything, because really I don't know what we're going to see from a distance. It might not even matter. It might just be a shiny piece. It doesn't really matter. So it's unwrapped. So we're going to, as I've shown here, we're going to unflatten, copy, go back to this mesh, and we're going to paste. If you're ever curious if it had put it there, go to your UV map here. You can delete it out or apply whatever else, but your UV map shows it's there. If it wasn't applied, if I deleted it out or whatever, it would be blank. So that's how you can know if you got UVs applied. If you need to look to see how it looks, there's another little trick. You go to one of these. I like this one. It shows it pretty clean. Look at that. Not too much stretching or anything. It's just like right here maybe. But going back and forth to Toolbag, it might not matter. It might just be the angle too. So it looks pretty clean. It's one of the clean meshes. The next part is, how do we keep this geometry, this information going back and forth without having to export like a couple million polys? And I'll probably add another subdivision just to be safe. And if I really want to, I can clean it up some more, because that's gonna matter. It's gonna matter when I bring it over. So we'll just see where it goes and put that there. Just clean it up some more. A lot of it is playing it by ear. What I want, what I need. Is it important? Because after a point, you're just like, I just want to get this project done. You just want to go on to the next episode. Oh. Just clean this up here. It's a little lip, but we probably will never see that right there, whatever that is. Why I did it, I don't know. It's there. And it'll probably never be seen from there. From that distance, it's all covered up. And we can always add details later. Just clean it up a little bit before I export. There we go. Doing a single mesh has never been an issue for me, but going with this much information, the details, you know, like I've always done like objects here and there, but when it comes to getting this much information, it adds up. So I'll do a quick save out just in case. So it's already got an unwrap on it. I'm gonna go to decimation, and this is one of the methods I've used to go back and forth, unless it's like that cable that I showed you. It's not really, I didn't do anything with the decimation. It was already pretty clean. I just subdivided that inside of Toolbag, so that's pretty cool to use as a low poly. Trying to save data, and going to here, we're going to turn this on so we can show what's going on. Decimation, keep UVs is very important. So if I want to paint it inside of Toolbag, it'll be there. Let's go to process. It's going to do the little bar. Doesn't take too long. It's not a heavy, like it's not a very heavy mesh, but it always does a pretty cool job that I've been surprised with. And we're gonna go ahead and decimate current. We'll turn this on, and I got it down to 5. Let's see what it does. Decimate. Let's turn this off. Can't even tell, can you? I could go even lower and see what it does. And that's where you start to see these little, you see that? I don't want that. I want it to still be clean. Cleaner. Maybe 8. There it goes. That way if it shines, and if you really need to know how many polys, let's say 87,000. Let's rename that. Ear back cap. I don't know. We'll just give it a name. It's got to have a name, right? Name it something so that when I go into Toolbag, it's not named whatever. So let's go from here. Export. So I'm going to close this down. Should already have UVs. So if I go to UVs, Should still keep that there. And I'll go to export, FBX, export here. Got my other ones. I'm going to, this keeps the name, so that's good. So you have to rename it again and again if you're trying to rename it here. So here we go. We'll go save, exported. Go into Toolbag, and here we go. We're going to import this in. You can either go import, right click import, and those are two methods. So we'll go here. What was it? Ear piece back cap, right? Boom, there we go. So now we got an earpiece. You see some of that detail still there. I'm gonna turn off this. It was in full quality, I guess, in render mode. I'll turn that off. If you really want to, you can. Just for looks. I'm not doing any texturing right now. I'm just trying to get models in and increase the metalness. So now we can start to see the details. So if I go into here, it reads like a metal piece on the back of her ear, and you can do the roughness depending on the look you want to give her. And that's pretty much how I did each piece, going back and forth. This lights, let's see if we can select everything, rotate, get some dynamic looks. I went with the blue to the cool, the orange to the cool, so we can kind of keep a little that movie, and a little purple. See that purple? So I separated it. It was a child of the skylight, so if you hold shift and right click, you can rotate the sky. It usually is, if you do the lights in here, it'll usually attach it to that and it'll rotate everything, but I didn't want it to move the lights. I just wanted to move the HDRI. So that's where this comes in. See, look at that right here. See, you can start picking up more detail. We could even adjust this if we want to, up and down. Pretty cool. I don't want it too bright, so I want to give it a little cyberpunk world. And you can increase this too, drop it up and down. Just wanted to give it a little life. I still could put a backdrop or background or even something else in the background and give her depth of field to where it actually looks like there's more geometry. But for now, I just want to get her as a model inside of here. We can zoom in and see what else we got. See, you can see everything's there. Modify some stuff here, get some glowing stuff there. For those who have followed the first videos, yeah, the references are what kind of gonna play some of those like little glowy pieces that I had originally planned on doing. So cool. It's bright, very bright. I'm gonna darken that almost to just be there, but not right. Just enough. There we go. Even here, you can just adjust. That might need to be remodeled or something. I don't know. If a texture gets on it, you might not ever notice. So it's kind of like playing it by ear. What's more important, right? Where are we shifting our focus? Because there's only so much time of the day we're trying to get. So let's see what else we got. I like this piece, but let's keep going with the face. Trying to complete the puzzle. Rinse and repeat. This one of the pieces had like the original mesh embedded. It was like giving me trouble, but it could have been a hidden geometry thing. You know, just like, nah, we can't do this ZBrush stuff. So let's go up to here, reset this, clear this little palette off, and do the same thing. This is pretty much the whole thing. That's really a big reason why I didn't really record a lot of this, because this get boring. It's not the most, you know, exciting thing in the world to watch, but it is kind of informative to know different processes to go back and forth. Good practice would be to unwrap each individual piece and do low to high bake and stuff like that. Yes, we can do that, but how much time do you have? That's what it comes down to. I know holidays are coming up. I know Halloween's coming up. I still want to do a Halloween monster you know, before the month is over, but I might jump in and do one little model in between here and there. So let's unwrap this. Let's work on a clone. Sorry, it went on a side trail with that. All right, so let's unwrap it. We're just trying to get things done. This is really where we're going. Oh, check this out. So this has been a little bit of a tricky thing. I left dynamic on, so let's go back. This is something that you'll need to catch if you do this something similar. Apply that. It's not going to do you any good to have it as a secondary. So apply. So it's there. We got it. We can go up or down. We'll keep it up. Let's work on the clone again. Work on clone and unwrap it. Flatten. Okay, looks pretty clean. Unflatten. And we'll go to this. Ideally, if I was gonna do the hide a low bake, it would be something like retopologized model with this. Probably that model. I would export this. I would export a higher res model like that, and then I would go to Marmoset and bake it hide a low. And it's a lot of work for something that's probably not gonna get a lot of. You know, we're not going to zoom in this close. We're going to be way back here. Looking like that. So, choose your battles. That's what it comes down to. So, decimation. Keep UVs. Oh, well. Got to copy UVs. This is here. I'll show you this. So, if I go to UVs here, there's nothing to delete. So that means that there is no UV on this. So I need to go back up to here. UV master. I can copy. Go back to this model. This is where it's at. Go to here. Paste. You can see that it popped up there. So if you're ever curious if you did do a paste, even then you can always go back and forth. But this is a different way of checking. So it's got UVs. We'll go to decimation. And I could probably, I don't know, let's see what this is. Let's reset. Let's make a clone. Because sometimes, let's see. Clone. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't really need that many pieces. So let's UV, pre-process. There it goes. Decimate. Alright, now push the button. There it goes. And go down as low as the 2. You can start to see a little bit of that weird edge, but let's kind of keep it there. Looks clean. Looks clean. Export. Let's give it a name. I've been calling this piece Mike. Upper. I guess upper attach. Yeah. No reason to overthink this stuff, right? Just go with the flow. So export and upper. And you can see where it's been going back and forth. Just rinse and repeat. You do one, go to the next. Then export it. Go to here. Close this out. Close that out. I'm gonna drop this in there to keep it clean. Import. And Mike, what was it? Mike upper. Forgot the name of it. Upper at. There we go. You can see it right there. There it is. Control F to zoom. Pretty clean. Go to roughness. I've been adding a lot of metal to these models. Give a little more darker sci-fi, darker vibe to it. That's too bright, too happy. If we really want to add a color, look, so we can add a color to something. Vary it up, I don't know. Depends on the look. Give it some metalness. The roughness. There we go. I'll add color and details on top of these details to probably do some texturing, but if I don't see that we really need it, because really if you look at it, it's already kind of busy, but I want to kind of keep the focus on her face. You know, you're looking up to her, kind of giving that. Depends on how we frame it with this. It's always fun. Let me go to the camera and do some stuff. But yeah, this is about where it's going to be going. I'm just going to keep kind of rinse and repeat. But you can start to add this little bit of a secondary looks. Kind of give her a little more glowy look. Let's go around hard. No. Alright. One of these I'm gonna play to her style just a little bit. On top of that, we've got these. Oh, look at that. This is where the fun part is, but I'm not there yet. This is still a ways off. And I won't put you through too much of that the unwrapping of stuff. I'm gonna kind of not post as much because it's gonna be just trying to get there. This looks neat. It's a different look. I like that last look. That looked pretty kind of retro look. This is kind of interesting. But yeah, you get the idea. Like, it's go here, either clean it up, unwrap it. And one of the models I unwrapped in Blender because I used the packing tools in there, and it wasn't too bad. I don't remember what model it was, but it worked out. I need to fix these cords. These are looking kind of scary. I could probably delete them, but I want them just to kind of give her a little bit more character from the neck up. That one I can delete. But yeah, that's about most of the time for today. I'm going to show where I'm at. I still got this big section here. I've got to clean up this piece. Maybe I'll just model on top of it a little bit more. But I could probably export it as is. I just got to unwrap it. It's not the cleanest model, but it'll do once I decimate it, and I can unwrap that decimation. But it's gonna be a little trickier to do. It might not like the poly painting or any texture painting on it if I do go that route. But I do want to add some kind of like light right here or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We're getting close, very close. So some of that angle. Let's see that. Her. One last thing. That's at a 50. See if that makes a difference. Where are we at? Orbit. Millimeter. 50. That might make a little difference to be closer to what I was looking at in ZBrush. Cool. There's nothing on this side to see, but yeah, this is. I can see the finish line, so this is the progress of what it's at right now. So again, it's the end of my time for my lunch, but hope you're doing well out there. I know my allergies are kicking my butt today, but you know, I just wanted to make a little short video showing where it's going, and I'll continue to keep working on this, and I'll pick back up when I start getting the textures going and more of the polish inside a tool bag. So thanks for watching. Later.